These are the 3 top tips to creating a beautiful eating experience to help you glow, radiate, and have more energetic and more productive days. Eating for many of us is a pleasurable experience, and it can leave us feeling either energized or feeling a bit slower, a bit bogged down. And these 3 tips that I'm going to be sharing are going to help you maintain that energy, to feel better, and even to create a healthier relationship with food. So these tips are keeping your body sensitive to pleasure, number 2, consciousness, and number 3, building a healthy relationship with setbacks and adversity when it comes to our plans. So first, keeping your body sensitive to pleasure is absolutely key to having a healthier metabolism, healthier cravings, and just feeling satiated longer. There are many ways that you can stay sensitive to pleasure, and this not only applies to food, but it can also apply to any other form of dopamine that you might be using up in your life. When we are sensitive, our body is able to respond to things much more effectively. We feel a lot more energetic, we glow, we radiate, and you're going to feel fuller a lot faster. So to stay sensitive, take this concept of taking away pleasure for a bit. It's like if you have a drink, let's say you bought a kombucha and it's really good. The very first sip you have tastes so sweet and so pleasant. But if you start to chug that drink, or you start to drink it too often, that flavor starts to dim down and not be as pleasurable anymore. That's because your body is starting to feel insensitive to it. This applies when you are eating or engaging in anything else. Take away the pleasure from time to time. For example, if you're drinking a drink like that, you take a sip, you put the cap down and put it away. Allow your body to process that flavor, to absorb it, to just enjoy it. Give it some time to digest and enjoy what was put inside of it. If you're eating, take a bite and put your utensils down while you allow yourself to chew. And there are so many ways to take away the pleasure for a little bit, but always remember that it is important to allow your body this balance between producing and consuming. And when you have that beautiful balance, everything is so much more rewarding. Your life is so much more fruitful. The second way to stay sensitive is to eat whole foods and balanced meals. So obviously, whole foods are going to be the better option. They're not corrupted with preservatives or with chemicals or even high amounts of salt and sugar that causes us to feel addicted. You want to feel satiated when you're eating, not craving more. Sure, they may taste a little bit more bland, but that's exactly how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to feel satisfied when we're done. Eating whole foods in addition is going to fill up your body with so many beautiful nutrients and nourishment that you need to thrive. It's going to make you feel so beautiful, so light after, and you're not going to feel weighed down. So try to make your diet as much whole foods as possible. And I'm talking as whole as you can get. Organic, grass-fed, without preservatives. The cleaner they are, the more nourishing they're going to be for your body. And envision every time you eat these beautiful whole foods, you are investing into your glow, and you're investing into your beauty, into feeling so radiant. And the last way to stay sensitive is to eat less frequently and even fasting. So one thing I like to do is have a set time in mind of knowing when I'm going to eat. And it's the same thing on a larger scale with fasting. When your mind has just a set guideline, it doesn't have to be followed rigorously, but you have something to work toward. You have an expectation, and there's even that anticipation while you're going through that waiting period of knowing something rewarding is coming, so I'm going to work harder, or I'm going to do a high quality job. It's all so worth it. It makes it so much easier to think about the goals that you want. You can start envisioning, your body is getting healthier, it's detoxing. Just having that guideline helps you to shift states from consuming to producing. And I know when you eat, especially if you're eating frequently, it does tend to relax you and it can slow you down a bit. And if you're not constantly throughout the day having to put yourself back into that focus mode, it's just so much easier. The longer you're in a fasted state, the more focused and the easier it is to be productive, fruitful, and energized. And I highly advocate for fasting, because fasting is taking it to the next level. It will do things for your body that you cannot achieve otherwise. The longer into a fast that you go, the more that your body starts to detox, to clean itself. And the best part is your body activates hormones that work in your favor to help you with this. It activates GABA, a hormone that calms you down. It also activates the hormones that reduce your appetite. It's detoxing you. Your body starts to build ketones, which when the brain feeds off of this, it is so sharp, so focused, so alert. So being in that fasted state is so easy and so pleasant when you are in that fast. And if you are new to fasting, start small and work your way up. And I would like to make a video in the future going more into depth about fasting tips, especially if you are a woman, because we are cyclical and there are little tweaks here and there that we can make to still optimize our fertility without overstressing the body. So stay tuned. All right, number 2, consciousness is going to create a beautiful experience from eating. When we're in a conscious state, this simply means that we are aware, we're present in our bodies, and we're making a conscious effort to do things well. Maybe it's the way that you're speaking, or the way that you're doing anything, you're doing a high quality job. Versus an unconscious state is when you go into autopilot mode, when you are eating, for instance, something that really doesn't take much effort to do. You're going through the motions, you're just enjoying yourself. It's harder to control ourselves in those unconscious states simply because you're not there. The more we can stay conscious throughout the day, the better experiences we have, the more we decrease the tendency to overeat or to do any self-sabotaging habits. So these are some ways to stay conscious, well, in regards to eating. So first, prepare your meals. The more effort you put into the preparation of a meal, the more you're going to value it. And it's that simple. Whatever we put effort into, we value, and whatever we value, we want to take care of it more. So if you're putting effort into making this meal, you're gonna have more of a motivation to want to take care of your body because you just worked for it, you just earned it. Grab the most vibrant and beautiful ingredients that you can find. Make your meal as nourishing as you can make it. Really sense what feels good to put together. As you're creating a recipe, take a taste of it and gauge more or less what you like to add more or subtract. And when you do this, you're going to feel satiated. It's going to feel so easy to just feel satisfied and moved on. The second way is to focus on each and every bite. So as I mentioned before, take a bite, put your utensils down, and focus. Have no distractions. Just focus on breaking down the food, allowing your body to digest, to break it down, and to absorb everything. And when you do these bites very consciously, it will feel easier to feel satisfied sooner. The next way is to clean up after. So you just ate, you just put yourself in rest and digest mode, you're more relaxed. You can bring yourself back to consciousness by giving your mind this mental cue that it's time to shift modes from your eating and consuming pleasure back to, all right, let's focus. You can simply clean up the plate if you're at a restaurant, pile everything up, put it away. You know, if you're eating at your desk, clean everything up. Just give your mind that cue. You can have mints or brush your teeth after, put on some perfume, freshen up. Just signal to your body. Your body really communicates through these nonverbal cues, these actions, by the way it feels. So when you feel clean and you feel refreshed, it's easier to just move on. And the last way to bring consciousness when it comes to eating is to move after. So they're taking a walk after 20 to 30 minutes, even less, just any sort of movement. It has been proven in many studies that this is so beneficial to helping your body regulate its blood sugar and help you to feel more energized. Your body is able to digest faster, and it lowers your blood sugar so that you don't have that sugar, that crash afterward, but you're kind of using that energy, putting it to use. It'll wake you up a little bit and give you that beautiful boost of energy. And last but not least, this is so important, but building a healthy relationship with volatility in life. We are human, and well, we're not robots. We're not going to stick to a meal plan so perfectly all of the time. Life happens, stress happens, things come out of nowhere. We have so many hormones, especially as women. Don't put that pressure on yourself to stick to an eating plan or to be perfect all the time. It's okay if you overindulge from time to time. The best thing you can do is get in tune with your body and work with what feels good in that moment. If you're following a plan and you got off track and you might feel a bit discouraged after, these are some things that you can do to help. So understand that setbacks are truly a blessing. They're like difficult circumstances in our lives. They might feel unpleasant initially because it didn't go as planned, but really it's shaken us up so that we can be present in our body, and it forces us to release control. Whatever control we thought we had, it's not that now. So what is your only option? It's to sit with your body and get in tune with it. And you can always ask yourself the question, well, I'm here now, what would feel so good to do right now? It's the compound effect. These tiny little actions are going to lead you one way or another. So you've overeaten, just ask what would feel good right now. Maybe it's to go on a walk or to have a cup of green tea. This probably wasn't what you had planned to do, but it's going to help you in the very moment. Your plans might change. Maybe you had structured what you wanted to snack and eat, but now because you ate more than you thought, maybe you don't want to have those anymore. And that is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to flex and to adapt with your body. These are gifts in disguise because they put you back into your body. Somebody who eats intuitively, they really master being in tune with their bodies. And I say this because this used to be me 100%. I don't do it anymore now because there are certain dietary goals I'm going for. However, I will say, as an intuitive eater, never once have I overeaten. And that was a very big discovery that I had gone through when I had discovered that, because my whole life growing up, all the way until the beginning of college, I had always struggled with overeating and not sticking to what I wanted to do. And when I learned how to eat intuitively, overeating never happened again. And it is incredible because I was always in tune and present with my body of what is feeling good, and it just becomes so much easier. So sometimes overeating can shake up that rigidity that is kind of causing you to feel stressed and causing you to overeat, and it'll put you back in your body. to get you in tune with that. There is no right answer for handling a setback. That's going to vary for all of us. And that's the beauty of it, is you're getting to learn your body. You're getting to see what works. And second, that is so important to do when you have a setback. Always move forward. All that matters at this point is what you're doing now, not what you think you're going to do in the future to try to make up for it, not what you should have done and regretting that. None of that matters. All that matters is taking things one step at a time. What is one thing I can do to feel just a little bit better right now to help me? Because the best solutions are going to come in that very moment. Forget the hows, forget trying to plan or pondering the past. None of that matters. And if you are feeling those feelings of regret, just understand that your action will take you out of this. The more that you take those healthy actions, the more you restore your energy and start to feel good again, it's going to wipe away those feelings of regret. Just focus on embracing where you're at. Always embrace failure. We try to avoid it so much, but the truth is, once we go through it, we realize what we're actually capable of. How many times have you failed in life and gotten out the other end stronger? If anything, failure desensitizes you to things. It makes you stronger and more adaptable. One good example I have is I used to try to plan out everything. When I would go out of town, I would get apprehensive, like, how is my sleep schedule going to work? How is my diet going to work? And the truth is, once I have gone on those trips, every single time I adapt in the moment and it works out so perfectly. And I come back from the trip feeling like, what was I so worried about? It all worked out perfectly, even better than I imagined. That's how life is. Setbacks are a good thing, and they just teach you. Failure will always be there to teach you new ways of doing things, new ways to adapt, because that's what life is, unpredictable. So to sum up the 3 tips for creating a glowing energy throughout the day, maintaining that and just feeling more energetic, more fruitful. Number 1, stay sensitive to pleasure. Take away that pleasure from time to time. Allow your body that balance of fasting versus consuming. Allow yourself to produce. Be bored sometimes. Be uncomfortable and embrace it, knowing that it's creating something better for your life. Number 2, stay conscious. Keep consciousness through movement, through focusing on things. When it comes to eating, take the time to put effort to prepare your meals so that you've earned them, you enjoy them more. Focus on each and every bite. Eat undistracted and focus on less at a time. Clean up after. Give your body that cue that it's time to switch modes. And move. If you're able to, take a brisk walk or move your body just a bit. Wake yourself up and get back on track. And number 3, use setbacks to your advantage. All they are is reminders that we live in a volatile life and we can overcome any setbacks that come to us. Lean toward failure. Don't try to avoid it. Don't run away. It is there to make you even more adaptable and more resistant to changes and being able to flex to that. Remember the compound effect. If you have overeaten and you don't feel good, just focus on right now. Ask, what is one small action I can do right now to feel good? And don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past. The more that you do these actions, the more you put yourself back into a higher state, and it will do the work for you. You don't need to lift a finger. So I hope these tips are very helpful for you. They certainly have changed my life, and I will see you next time.